وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله.
السلام عليكم. So I'm quite sad that we're in the last quarter of the One Ummah Conference, which means that tomorrow everyone goes back to their normal lives, and this becomes a memory just like every other memory that we have in our lives. So take advantage of the last couple of hours, renew your intentions for the last couple of hours, renew your covenants with Allah SWT, and we inshallah hope that our tomorrow is better than our today, and our day after that is better than our tomorrow. I was asking Rizwan, how many people here, if people here know each other, because I know that Calgary is a very intertwined community, and how many people were first-timers? So what I'd like is, if this is your first time coming to the One Ummah Conference, to raise your hand. Wow, mashallah. Okay, now if your hand is up, I want you to stand up. Okay, now, if somebody next to you is standing up, then you also stand up. Okay, we're good so far? Now give them a hug. Wherever you go in this world, you'll always get the same response. Aww. Why? Because, the relationships that we build through, we learn from our teachers, al-ilmu sila bayna ahlih, that knowledge is it's a relationship, it's kinship. It's like a blood relationship between its people. We meet each other, we don't know each other. I've met so many people here, almost 95% of everybody I've met here, I've met for the first time. And we love each other for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and we're actually, going to be sad to depart from each other. I'll be sad. Some people will probably be happy that I left. Okay, so this poem that I'm going to do, I wrote it in the March of last year. So what was happening was this whole Arab Spring, and everybody's talking about, everyone was looking on, and I felt like one of the most important things that we could be doing was to be making dua for them. Imam al-Shafi'i has a beautiful piece that he says, أتهزأ بالدعاء وتزدريه وما تدري بما صنع الدعاء سهام الليل لا تخطئ ولكن لها أمد وللأمد انقضاء. He says that, do you belittle dua and do you discount it, and you don't know what the prayer accomplishes? The arrows of the night do not miss their target, but they have a span, and the span then finishes. So he creates this beautiful metaphor of the dua being an arrow that the person who is supplicating is sending. And he's saying it may not reach right away, but don't worry, as soon as that arrow jumps into the air, Allah Azza wa Jalla is going to make sure that it reaches its target. Actually, I translated a good portion of Imam Shafi'i's Diwan, his collection of poetry. I forgot to mention, you can get it off of my website, which is iamammar.com. Inshallah, if you join the email list there, you'll automatically get a good portion of his Diwan translated. Okay, so this poem is called A Night's Prayer. It has some Arabic in it. One of it is a verse of the Qur'an that basically says, قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ, O Allah, the creator or the owner of all of the dominion, you give the dominion to whomever you wish, and you take the kingdom away from whoever you wish, and you give honor to whom you wish, and you debase whom you wish. In your hand is all goodness. You are able to do all things. In Surah Al-Imran, that's the verse. And any other Arabic that you hear is most likely going to be a dua, so simply say Ameen. So far, so good? Okay. He stands. He stands because he must. He stands with two hands clasped over his heart lest it bust or burst, with a variety of emotions, calm, fear, courage, the need to fulfill his trust. It weighs on his shoulders, so he stands, his feet sinking in the carpet, in a small room, in a seemingly smaller apartment, enveloped by the darkness. But his eyes are familiar with the night, so he sees the dancing of the shadows clearly. And he recites verses he loves dearly. قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكَ الْمُلْكِ تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. And he bows. And he bows with such ease that it would cause some to be deceived, for his shoulders so easily moved. But that same back absolutely refused to bow to anyone other than the one whose words he just recited. And so he rises. His body camouflaged, it matches the stillness in the air. His lips move softly, tongue swiftly, heart aware. None can give what you withhold, and none can withhold what you give. وَلَا يَنْفَعُ ذُو الْجَدِّ مِنْكَ الْجَدِّ. He is without arms, so he raises his arms by his sides and he begins the conversation. Again and again he confides hands towards the sky. Again and again he cries, Ya Rab, رحماك بأهلنا في ليبيا ومصر والسودان وسوريا واليمن وفلسطين. Entire nations on his mind. They will not be harmed, not from his side. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين منكوبين في كل مكان. اللهم كن لهم ناصرا يوم قل الناصر وكن لهم معينا يوم قل المعين. اللهم ثبت الأرض من تحت أقدامهم. اللهم عليك بأعدائك وأعدائهم. اللهم زلزل عروش الطواغيت الظالمين وأذن بفرج قريب لعبادك الموحدين واشف صدور قوم مؤمنين. They are far from him, but in his heart and mind they are by his side. They are his joy and pride, and they will not be harmed, not from his side. So he stands, as he has stood at the same post 5 times a day or sometime near the end of the night, with his hands above his heart lest they burst. As he recites, he cries out, pleading for divine assistance, for he believes in angels, knows they can arrive in an instant. So he implores their arrival, and he falls. He falls so that a people can rise. He falls, facilitating a tyrant's demise. Into the sweetness of prostration he falls, begging forgiveness for any transgression that would impede the journey of the arrows that he is sending from his window to their target, from his small room, from a seemingly smaller apartment, enveloped by the darkness.